all started when I read this account, a very small account, of Bill Sears in Massachusetts who had cleaned up a small river. And I thought, my gosh, that sounds like a pretty good idea and something that we could do here at the newspaper. So I called Bill Sears and talked to him about it at length. And he said, yeah, it's not that difficult. It can be done. You do a little organizing and get people together, and I'm sure you'll get a lot of help. And that's where it started. I then went to the publisher at the time, who was Mike Metcalf, of course. I knew Mike very well, a good friend of mine. Mike is unfortunately now dead. And I said, Mike, this is something we could do, and it would tie in very well with Bob Frederickson's series on our dirty water, because we'd be cleaning up part of our dirty water. And Mike said, go ahead and do it. We'll pay all the expenses, which happened.
Well, that was all in the planning. It was like planning a war. You had to have certain people here and certain people here, and you had to plan the strategy. Each chairman had to plan the strategy for his own section. And you had your workers and your food coming at a certain time, and water and soda coming through at a certain time. Everything was just a matter of logistics. Everything, the people and the work to be done, they knew exactly what they had to do.
But it helped a lot to have a newspaper, because whenever we had a date or a time or a method of doing things, it was published in the paper. And people up and down the river evidently followed the paper quite closely, because the circulation was very good along the Blackstone River. And people followed it. I think there were a lot of people who were just beginning to realize at the time what the environment entailed. We had a reporter that was assigned to the job of ZAP from the beginning, and he covered that every day. But day by day, the Providence Journal covered everything that was going on in the assemblage of the final ZAP day. We got help from an amazing number of people. We got trucks. We had over 300 trucks donated. The use of 300 trucks donated, a driver and a truck to pick up the debris.
They divided this river up into sections and named each section after a certain fish. And I had the hornpout section, which ran from Front Street to the Ashton Dam. And first we had to go along and find out just what trash there was and where it was, and we marked the number of the pole where the trash was, and we got everything all laid out. We had, 10 or 15 meetings before the final day came, and we got out there to do the work. And there was so much equipment, so much heavy equipment, bulldozers, and then they had the rakes and the shovels and the forks and the bags, and for the people who couldn't do the heavy lifting. And there were many, many young boys and girls who were interested in getting into the act. It was like a circus for the children, and everybody was in a good mood. And of course, when the food came, they were in a better mood.